All right, hey everybody, streaming. Yep, here we go. All right, welcome. Start of the month 2, day 11. Kind of, kind of day 11. I don't know. I was not streaming for a little while, and we got a little farther along in the actual project. Where are my notes? Here they are. Okay, so 2/24/2021 live stream notes. Here we go. All right. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, getting my sea legs under me still for live streaming. So, yeah, kind of working with a new setup, a new process. So, actually, something I did, which I've talked about doing a lot and haven't done, but just finally finished, is putting up my stream notes on the stream. So, oh hell, I've got this stream open in a new tab. I shouldn't do that. Great. Okay. So anyway, all of my stream notes for the past streams are now available on the blog, startupinamonth.net. So anyway, yeah, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a change to this file and have it git commit and push, since that's how this particular blogging platform I'm use actually functions. So not sure if we'll get there yet, but at the very least, we will have the stream notes ready at the end of the stream. It'd be really cool if I could save this file and it just shows up on the internet. That'd be really neat. And we'll see if we get there. So yeah. Anyway, if I link a warm up exercise, you can find it there. If I put an agenda item in, or write something down in this little notebook area that you want to check out, you will be able to do that soon. Actually, you can do that now, and you will be able to do that for the future. So that's really cool. Yeah. Anyway, getting back into streaming, getting back into my groove, and one thing I would really like to do is start getting back into my coding warm-ups again. Because I was doing this for a while and also fell off the boat with that a little bit. So yeah, we're going to start with another coding warm-up today. And this coding warm-up comes from the creator of the Calva VS Code plugin, Peter Stromberg. So anyway, Peter, if you're watching, or if you're watching after the fact, thank you very much. This actually looks really cool. And it is something totally... I feel like it's within my ability to solve and figure out and reason through. So anyway, we'll find out if it actually is, but it seems like a good challenge for my skill level right now. That's also something I've seen other coding personalities too, other streamers, other YouTubers. One person in particular, Daniel Schiffman. Must be good practice for coding train pi with collisions. Is this one it? Not collisions, approximating the value of pi. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I'll just link this because Daniel Schiffman is an awesome YouTube educator. And this will be good practice for coding train estimating pi video. Right, so if I do that, and if I say cd into here, and I've got scripts. 1-0, good afternoon, sir. Ah, Cliff Jordan, welcome back, man. Hey, it's been a little while. Glad to have you back on the stream. Things have changed a little bit since you've been here, but yeah, welcome, man. How you been? I was just demonstrating my new improved blogging feature. Let's see. So zish, auto commit push. Two files changed. Create mode. Is it up there? I think it might be. I think these actually take a little while to show up because it has to build. So if we just refresh these a few times, assuming we name the file correctly, which I think we did. Yeah, this file is 2021-02-24. Then we refresh a couple times. 24. Where are you? Ah, well, that'll show up eventually. Good. Had to guess the last couple weeks. Oh, okay, cool. Like someone coming to visit you up there at the cabin. That's nice. Hope you guys enjoyed it up there. We're getting into spring in Ithaca, New York, so yeah, kind of nice to see like blue clouds or blue sky, blue clouds, blue sky to hear birds chirping. So that's been really nice. Is that period? Okay, cool. Here we go. Yep. So that's what I was saying. Yeah. Now we can get this done, but it's wrong. 2/8. 224 live stream notes. Hold on a second. What did I actually commit? Spring's in the air. Yep. Save email and databases. Oh, what? Just the same change over and over again. Slash stream notes. Oh, it's got the same URL. It makes sense, right? Yeah, I should check this out. So anyway, because Jekyll works the way it does, I guess the first one I uploaded ended up getting the URL of stream notes, and so now all these things are technically like different dates, like 2/7, 2/5, but it's all pointing towards the same markdown file. So anyway, before that actually works, I'm gonna have to fiddle around with it a bit. But until then, I'll just take another day until we get it right. Let's see. We're stocked down pretty hard. Not allowed visitors yet, even outside in your garden. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Coronavirus is a crazy thing. Yeah, I don't know what I would like more. Either the relative freedom I have in America to move around and like live my life, but also like it killed 500,000 of my fellow citizens, or like some kind of Chinese style lockdown, or based on your usage of garden, I'm gonna guess you're British, so I think England has a pretty serious lockdown measures in place too. Yeah, it saves lives, but it's a big old pain. So anyway, yeah. At any rate, Kim Stewart, hope you're doing okay over there. That's rough stuff. But at any rate, we can turn our minds away from that for at least a couple hours and focus on something outside the real world, which I'm finding nowadays is really nice. So anyway, let's get into the coding challenge segment of this. So this is the sieve of Eratosthenes. Certainly not pronounced like that, but anyway, this will be the challenge, and this is essentially a method by which you can find prime numbers up to a certain number. So if you see we're starting here at 2, and in this kind of GIF version of this, it goes up to 120. So you start at 2, and you kind of multiply it by itself over and over again. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 6, times 8, or times 3 is 6, times 4 is 8. And so, right, every time you multiply it, you mark, this is going kind of faster than my description is going. I hope you guys can make sense of this. But anyway, every time you multiply it by a multiple up to this limit, you mark it as being out, essentially. And so you know that if you've marked a number, then it is not prime because it has a number beneath it that it's divisible by, if that makes sense. So 4, 14, 24, they don't count. We move on to 3. 3 times 3 is 9, 12, 15, 18, so on and so forth. So essentially, you move on to the next number in the sequence, and the next highest number that hasn't been marked by running the algorithm over a previous number, you know that one is prime. So that's really cool. and it goes back to as early as 200 CE, formerly known as 200 AD. So it's like almost a 2,000-year-old method for finding prime numbers, which is just crazy. Another thing that's really interesting about these like Wikipedia algorithm pages is that they have just like plain English descriptions to them. So like step 1, create a list of consecutive integers. Step 2, let p equal 2. Step 3, so on and so forth. So yeah, you get this kind of nice like list oriented method of like solving a problem sequentially, and you just start at step 1 and loop through until you reach your end case, and that's how you go. So anyway, we're going to attempt that, and yeah, after that we'll get into building UI for Pic Story. So right, I've got my namespace. We're going to start the REPL. Dep's Eden. Let's see, make sure it's running. +11 is a syntax error. Are you sure? It's 2. Okay, cool. Great. So let me get my clock. So if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't been here for a while, firstly, welcome, and secondly, we do these for a half hour, so we'll see as far as I can get. Rarely finish in the full half hour, but I usually get fairly deep into the problem. So anyway, yeah, if I don't make it, maybe you can take my code and run with it yourself and see what happens. That'd be a great thing to put in the show notes, by the way, so I'll copy that in as well. Anyway, 30 minutes on the clock. You can't read that, but perhaps you can hear it. Great. Let's get going, shall we? Okay. So let's head back to this. Create a list of consecutive integers from 2 through n. So I think they say 120, so I'm going to make this go to 120. And I'm going to go to my cheat sheets. And I think we've got a really nice function called range, which will do this for us. Yep. So if we do like range to 120, we get 0 to 100 and if we do like last range 120, 119, right. Yeah, I guess 121. I kind of like to start at 1. But if we start at 0, that's okay. We'll just ignore it. Okay, so cool. Def numbers. So range starting from 0 going to 121. Excellent. Okay, so step 1 is done. Char JJE, oh, welcome. Or go to 120 and take input to stop at. Go to 120 or take input to stop at. Right. Yeah. I guess I could build this thing like, I could do it where like, you know, I create a vector of like 0 to 121, or I write some kind of code that like stops at 120. I think it's going to be kind of easier for my mind just to like follow this thing like straight through. Also, it's a step overload, ranges overload, where you can specify start and last if you want to start at 1. Oh, perfect. Start and, of course. 1 and 120. It's always that simple. Right, so if I called first on that, it would be 1, and yeah, now we've got what we want. Excellent. Range 121. Oh, so I do need to go to 121. Okay, cool. Very good, very good. Okay, so step 2 is initially let p equal 2, the smallest prime number. So def p is 2. Step 3, enumerate the multiples of p by counting increments of p from 2p to n and mark them in the lists. These will be 2p, 3p, 4p. P itself should not be marked. Alright. So, this is kind of interesting. It's like, one way I could do this is like range. Yeah, because if you look here, this is kind of a strategy where you know, you're mutating things over and over again, but yeah, maybe I could take that range that I built and like kind of, I don't know, put a nil where 4 was and put a nil where 6 was, and then I can filter the resulting list by whether the thing is a number, and then I'll have my list of primes. So yeah, I think I'll do that. Sieve of Eratosthenes. Yeah. It's got a crazy name, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, kind of cool. Eratosthenes. There we go. Looks crazy. It's got a crazy name, but yeah, I think that it's actually going to be okay. I might just finish this. Famous last words. Welcome, by the way. Yeah, glad to have you in the stream, even though you're streaming in the afternoons, Kevin. Okay, so enumerate the multiples of p by counting increments of p from 2p to n. Alright. So I think it might be time for me to learn how to use loop. Loop and recur. Closure core. Loop. Right, recur. So this is like do something, evaluates the expressions in a lexical context. Sieve equals filter. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Sieve filter. It's all the same thing. Evaluates the expressions in a lexical context in which the symbols and the, oh my god. So we loop on the can I do it like this? Loop requires a vector for its bindings. I'm guessing this is a list, so I think someone in the stream taught me you can do this. Maybe vec. There we go. Okay. Loop requires a vector for its bindings. Alright, so I passed something in the wrong spot. Loop from x to 10. Oh, is that like the... I guess the vector comes first, right? No, let's not get too crazy with this. 1, 2, 3. No. Even number of forms in the binding vector. Loop x10. Okay. Numbers. Needle, needle, maybe here, haystack. Sum 0, count 10. Don't really know what's going into this vector right now. loop x's. Hold on, this is the variable name, and this is the thing you're assigning the variable to. Yeah, okay, I think I get it. Sending you a DM with some OBS mic adjustment settings I found. Oh yeah, that'd be nice actually. Yeah, because this mic is sitting right next to my computer fan. Yeah, white noise and keyboard noise, that would probably be a good thing to filter out. Okay, so X's, numbers. Right, so we got like a list of things which are assigned to that. Then we have like an expression that we do on that. If x's is if less than x's 120 recur. Okay, so I think we're gonna want next as well. Turns a sequence of items after the first. Yep. So I don't need a function. Okay, cool. So if less than last x's less than, so if the last of the x's is less than 119, I'm just choosing a number that I know is definitely not outside my range. Recur next x's, or maybe rest items after the first. No, next. Okay, so if that, print line, done. Do, don't think I need to do here, but it doesn't hurt. Print line, not done. Okay, so each number up to 119, we're going to print line not done, but then when we're done, we're going to stop. Okay, did he write an infinite loop? Only one way to find out. Unsupported operation exception. Can only recur from the tail position. Can only recur from tail position. Let's find out what this means. It means you're not calling recur as the last expression in a recursive part of the function. Okay, so I need to put this at the end. So if greater than. Oop. Loop over these numbers and do this thing. Can only recur from the tail position. Let's see. So it has to be the tail call elimination, has to be the last expression, right? And I'm guessing this do thing is not helping me. Can only recur from the tail position. And maybe if I just get rid of this for the time being. Maybe it's because it's inside the if. Okay, when Gonna change that to a when. Can only recur from the tail position. Loop. Has an extra param before it. Yeah, I'm kind of learning gradually when I... Oh, hello. I think that was it, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm a little shaky on like when I need to wrap something in parens versus when I don't wrap it in parens, because, man, my first introduction to this, like even before Clojure was Common Lisp, or now, I guess I'm thinking in kind of a JavaScript context where parens mean just like evaluate what's inside of this, but parens in Clojure more often than not mean like call this function or evaluate the expression inside this as though it were a function that could be executed. So I think that's where I get tripped up. Alright, great. Print line done. I think what we can do is like a string. We can do like a first x's, and that'll give us the number we're actually recurring over. Yep, there we go. Cool. Nice. Alright, so we can print a bunch of stuff. Okay. Yeah, what do we do now? We can loop over. We can loop over the thing and we can recur over it. So, yeah, let's start with 2. P is 2. Alright, so when P when equals P2, yeah, let me see if I can put like multiple recurs in. I'm not sure you can do that. Equals P2, print line, found the 2, and then I want to recur with the next x's. Can't do that? Nope, can only recur from the tail position. So if I'm gonna track things, I think I need like a let's. Okay, so I think I need like a let p. Let p. Can you redefine a variable in the let block? Variable in let block Clojure. Let's see. You can have multiple recurs as long as they are all last exceptions. So if, for example, if foo recur blah return quux, but to be in the tail position is only one or the other has been called, can't be called. Okay, so I need to write this in such a way that only one of them is called as the final expression, which means I can't use when, because that's just like a pass-through thing, so I need like if. So I need to do something like this, I think. Print line, found the 2. Do the following stuff. Even number of forms. Ah, right. Something ridiculous I'm not going to use for now. You do a let a val, a new val. Oh, you can rewrite it in the block. In the let block. That's interesting. Man, coding challenge plus a part of the core library I've never used yet. This is this is a tricky one. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. I think it's going to be easiest if I can like leave this as the last expression. I'd do this with reduce and sets. Yeah, I think I'd like to do this with reduce and sets too, but I'm kind of deep into this loop thing now. When greater last x is 119. All right, let's just double check that this still works. That still works. That's great. Okay, so what's the first thing I'm looking at? P equals 2. Enumerate the new multiples of p by counting in increments of p. Yeah, so I guess like I could do this, but I could look at let's Kerr number, horrible name. It's gonna be like the first of the x's, and how about we call this nums? We'll call this starting nums. Yeah, okay. So the current number will be the first of the nums. Okay. And it's a bit ridiculous, but okay. Atom, the initial value of 2. I think as I'm thinking in atoms from reagents, like React, I'm gonna just like rewrite this like global atom every time. Okay. So when, I guess I can use modulus too, right? Something I haven't used in enclosure very much as well either. That's a good thing to learn about. Like modulo, mod, that's it. So when mod first number, second number, mod Kerr number, and p, when that equals 0, just make sure that that actually works the way I think it does, equals 0, mod 4 and 2. This should be true. This should be not true. Okay. So when we have a number which is divisible by p, what do we do then? We replace it with nil. Yes. Okay. Ooh, can I find it before I run out of time? I've got a really good function for this. Somewhere in here. Can I find it in time? Insert ats. Index item collection. Is this it? Before item after. No, I'm trying to swap out split at index collection. And I'm trying to like do a functional way of like replacing one number with another. I think I can start from this function. In Ramda, this is called adjust. So let's take a super simple def test vec. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So we're going to take an index, an item, and a collection. Split at index. I'm going concatenates before. And what happens if we split at to test vec? It's not in the REPL yet, but now 1, 2. Okay, so I want to like drop last on before. Drop last. Yeah, drop last. Massively inefficient, I know. Okay, so we're gonna concat drop last of before with the item and after. So if we adjust at index 2 with string at test vec. Man, I always think that in my head. I never say it out loud. We get that. Awesome. Great. So we adjust adjust nums with nil. How do we know what the index is? Cur number +1, I think. +1 cur number crude. And able to resolve simple starting nums. Yep, so we'll add that into the REPL. Add this function. And cannot be cast into number. Ah, right. The add symbol, my old friend. That's P is what we had to do that on. Null pointer exception. Null. What is null? Rest these eval 6. Use our stack trace for that. Cos nil. So we tried to do something with a number that we couldn't. So if we say like def cur number equals 2. This is true. Nil nums. What was this? Able to resolve simple nums in this context. So def nums is going to equal starting nums. So when that's true, replace that with no. Alright, so I replaced 3 with nil and I wanted to replace 2 with nil, so that's why we're getting that error. Okay. Drop last before. Just starting. Oh, you know what? I bet I got this minus 1 cur number. Off by 1 error, of course. Okay, so now 2 should be nil. Nope, now 0 is nil. Maybe it's just the current number is also the index. I think that's right. Yeah, we've got a array that starts at 0, right? Cool, okay, now this is correct. Now every other number should be nil, right? But we still get no pointer exceptions. I don't think it's because that's still in the scope. Null pointer exception. Current number is 2. Nums are the starting nums. When we run that whole thing, we replace 2 with nil. That's what we want. And then we recur next nums. Oh, it's because we're starting at 0. Yeah, we're starting here. We start here, we do nothing. We get here, we adjust cur number by nils, and then we recur with next nums. So next nums in this case is 2, 3, 4. Oh, we also need to recur with that adjusted array. Yeah, that's probably it, right? Still no pointer exception. One nil 3. Then we need next. No. Yeah. We also need to increment p too, right? So we loop num starting num. The modulus of the current number. Change that number to nil and we move on to the next. Oh, maybe if we just print line nums. Just see what it is when we have our problem. Okay, so we can make it through once, twice, nil. Okay, so we're passing nil. Yeah, so we need like next. It's a little bit ridiculous. Nah, it just gives us the same problem, right? We get to 4. Man, what am I doing here? And also, how do I get this thing out of the loop once I'm done? Needle first, maybe here. Yeah, maybe I just put this into an atom too. Def processed numbers. Oh no! Oh no! Oh well, we learned a little bit. I'm just gonna see if I can get this in. Resets. Processed numbers with the result of adjusting the cur numbers by nil nums. Nah, it's not gonna work. Never mind, we'll save that for next time. But anyway, we got we got most of the way through step 2, so that's cool. Or step 3. Loop just returns the last expression, so you need an exit clause that returns the thing you need. Right, yeah, okay. Just returns the last expression. So anyway, I think I need to read up on loop a little bit. But we got most of the way there. We got to the point where we could like find something which was divisible by the number we were looking at, and we replaced it with nil. And if it's a number, then it's prime, and if it's nil, it's not prime. The base case, if you will. Yep, exactly. Very important for recursion. Which is something I know about, but I've only kind of used rarely in my programming life, so yeah, good opportunity to learn more about that. It's a super useful tool if you can wield it, but yeah, it's really easy to shoot yourself from the foot with it at the same time, isn't it? So anyway, we'll probably continue that tomorrow, but yeah, not bad progress so far. Maybe I'll throw away loop and go with that reduce function like Stuart suggested. But it's good to learn about how to use these things. So anyway, we'll close that, and we will get on to actually doing what we're doing. All right, and text entry UI. This is what we're doing. All right, so yeah, last time we got as far as having a text box for entering in text into Pic Story, so we'll continue with that. Complete text entry process for great. So I think I have it running right now. We'll just close all this for now. App.local. Might be running, might not. Nope, not running. Okay, so we got to do a little bit of work to get this actually running, but that's fortunately not so bad. I think I provisioned everything. Now it's running. Yep, it is running. So I just need to SSH into the box and restart. activating extensions. Usually doesn't take that long. Alright, connect to hosts. Alright, let's open up a folder. Apps, app. There we are. Open our workspace. So we get our nice color coding so we know what app we're actually in. And I think today I might just need the app. I'm not sure I'm going to need to get into the back end, so I think this is the only window I need to have open. Alright, so start backend, start app. While we're waiting for these to start, I guess I'm working on my microphone. Gotta take it over here away from the computer fans. Maybe that'll help the sound situation. Let's see if we're up. Not just yet, but we will be soon. Okay. Get my window situation situated. Open up the cheat sheets. And we're going. All right, cool. So anyway, if you are joining me fresh, what we got to is the ability to have this wonderful, beautiful looking modal. Stand output. Let's just refresh until we stop getting that. Anyway, so these used to be living like at the bottom of the screen just randomly, but now when you choose to add a new layout block, you can get your layout block selection from this handy little modal window that I've added, so that's really nice. And we've also added the ability to add text. So this is a button for adding an image, and this is for adding text. So this is also currently looking awesome, but anyway, when you click add text, it'll also bring up this modal window with the text entry box. So yeah, if you can imagine this being like a mobile UI thing, then you'd have like your keyboard and then this like text entry box above it, and then the rest of the app above that. So yeah, we've got all the like UI in place, and we can like open and close it, but now what we need to do is actually start adding some of that entered text into the template at the correct place. So that's what we're going to be working on this afternoon. Get that cord out of the way. Probably gonna blast you with more microphone bobbling noises, so sorry about that. And we're gonna get going. So, connect to a running REPL, localhost 9091. Connect to the front end build. All right, cool. Still got stale outputs. Okay. Ooh. Can't build anything like that. Alright. So, let's remember what we're doing here. We've got a modal, atom block selector open, so this is not the one we're concerned with, but we are concerned with the text input UI. Okay. So on close, style text entry. Alright. So there's our close button and there's our text area. So we don't have anything in the text area just yet. So we need an on change. Need on change with an access to the event. So let's just figure out how to print that real quickly. Alright. So now if we had text, we should see it console logging over on the side here. And text, hello, test 1, 2, 3. Nope. On change, perhaps. Four, 5556. Nope. It was on change. No. This might be my hot reloading problem. Okay. Yeah, hot reloading problem. Not great, still haven't gotten that fixed. Need to get it fixed. Alright, so I think we're still gonna log. Hello? Oh. But if we refresh, she gets this. Alright, cool. Now we can log what we type. Great. Alright, so now that we can get that value, we should save it somewhere. And in order to do that, we need to figure out where we're saving it to. So, yeah, we've got this like atom blocks thing. So if I add a new block, this will be a little easier to see. So if we say like add atom blocks, we can see our state here as represented in this array of config objects. So we've got that first block, which is the side-by-side here, and that has a property called images, which is a map of essentially like indices within the layout block. I'm calling them rows and calls, but really they're just like numbered places in this thing where stuff goes. So if I do that one more time, you can see that like previously we only had 0 and 1, or previously we only had 0 and 1 for that window pane. Now we've got 0, 1, 2, and 3 assigned to images. So yeah, I think probably the most obvious place to go with this would be to add a text property to this object and then save text in there. Yeah, so let's get to a point where we can like save it in the state, and then once we can do that, we can move on to a place where we can render that state in the actual template itself in like a paragraph tag or something. So yeah, I think if I check out this add image function, that's going to tell me how to do that. Add image is add photo. Got to work on these function names. Alright. So add photo and add text are going to be very similar functions. Row index, call index, and right, row index, call index, and the text itself. Right, so I also need the row index and the call index. So I think there's actually one step I need to do before we do any of this, which is figure out which of these text blocks I actually have selected. And this will actually inform how I do this for images once I get past this stage of like having a bunch of dummy images in here. So this will be good practice for images as well. But essentially when I click this, I want to say like row 0, column 0 selected, or like row 0, column 4 selected. And then by the time I have an image to add in there or a text to add in there, I can just add that function call into like the onChange for like the text input in this case, and then like the text is kind of like the final piece in that whole cycle. So I'm going to look at the atom for the row I have selected, I'm going to look at the atom for the call I have selected, and then the text becomes what I actually put in that object. So that means I need to go back into my templates, add image, index 0. Okay. Yes, this is like not so much adding text as selecting something. Add image. Alright, so we're going to set the Atom text input open to true, which is what launches that modal down here. And then we're also going to say resets Atom selected row call. And I guess I could just be like a tuple. Yeah, row and call. That's a function that takes a row and call and just replaces that vector with a new vector. Selected layout block. Alright, diff once. Atom selected row and call is going to be nil and nil. Alright. So, let's refresh and see if I can get that far. No protocol, yada yada yada, for persistent vector. So I wonder if that's a syntax error or if that's something I wrote wrong. Just load that into the REPL for good luck. Run call. Refresh. Add text. Persistent vector nil nil. Ah, right, because I didn't. Nil nil needs to be our Atom wrapping that initial value. There we go. Add text. So now if I say Atom selected, nope. Selected row and call 0 0. Okay, so if I close that and I pick this one, that should be 0 4 or 0 3. Yep, cool. All right. Great. So now I got that. And now what I can do with that is I can go to the text inputs. I can call that function. But first, I think I want to write that function first before I call it. Okay, add photo, add text. So row index and call index. Call index and the actual text itself. So adding text. We're going to swap the Atom blocks with the result of associating in the row index, the call index. Instead of the key images, we're going to say key texts. We're going to say that is the text. Alright. So say we did like add text 0 0 test 1 2 3. What does that give us? Block, window pane, images, or Atom value. That's not quite what we wanted. What did we want? And text at the row index. That row, that column, that text. atom blocks at that row index, the key of text. Does it need that key in there in order to successfully associate in? Maybe it does. Zero, empty string, 0, 1, empty string, 2 is an empty string, and 3 is an empty string. Maybe if I do it like that. Zero, test 1, 2, 3. Don't know where that's coming from, but the part that I'm actually trying to test is working. So I think that's okay. Yeah, alright, cool. So we got something working. I got some kind of weird stuff going on with the images, but I don't think that matters. Alright, now we can just say text area on change is going to be add text for add atom. Yeah, it might be nice to have like an actual function, a real function that I can, like, you know, write a let block in. Yeah, maybe I could write a let block inside that shorthand function. Well, that's something interesting to test out. Let's see if we can do that. Let's selected row, we'll add atom, selected row call. How do I do this? 1, 2. Do I say like 0? Get index 0? No. Yeah, okay. Always gotta delete that test code. Selected row is going to be index 0 in there, and then selected call is going to be that same atom selected row call 1. Alright. Wrap the rest of this in the scope of that let block, and we can continue. Alright, so instead of print lining, we're just going to add text. I'm going to add it at the selected row and the selected call. And the value we are overriding there is going to be whatever we put into the text area itself. So I think that's all I need, right? Yeah, so now we can run this whole function. We can get it in state. Once we've got it in state, we just need to tell the app how to actually render it in the relevant spot. So let's go through the whole thing, right? Add text. So, invalid arity 0. Oh no. Invalid arity 0. Where's that coming from, I wonder? Maybe that? Nah, that couldn't be it. Let's try that. The function thing works out better for me. Did it work? Alright. Atom blocks. Let's see what you look like. Hey, it worked. So we got the text. Oh, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see reasonably well, I guess. Always a question of where to put this UI stuff in my stream. But anyway, you can see we've got the state with that single window pane UI element, and we've got the text in there. Cool. Now we can say, I think it did. Cool. Nice. All right. Now we just need to render it. Okay. So layout blocks. It's going to be in here, and it's going to be the renderer. Window pane content renderer. All right. Image map, row index. So let's figure out how to pass this state down. Yeah, so we got the image map, we got the row index. There's maybe better ways to handle props for this, but for now I think what I want to do is I want to say like text map, which is going to be the text from the item that we're rendering. If we go here, image map, text map. Alright, so now here's another question. It's entirely possible that a user could add an image and say like, oh wait, no, actually I wanna add text now. So in the instance where this has a value and this has a value, how do we pick? How do we pick? Yeah, I think we just render the first thing that has a value. Then we leave it up to the user to know that they have to delete whatever's in there until they can add something different. I think that's a reasonable way to go. So, right. I think that means that we have to get rid of this. We go to layout blocks and we say, okay, so we render an image tag or we render a paragraph tag. I guess I could just like write a little render function in here, right? Let's stuff. Hi. Alright, render image. It's gonna be a function that takes a source. Alright, so there's our first render function. A paren nightmare. Okay, render image and render text. It's going to be a function that renders text. And our image render function is going to return this. Okay, the source is going to be the source. The alt is going to be something soon, but add alt text soon. Alright, then this is going to be a paragraph tag, and the content is going to be text. Yep, okay. Great. Then, yeah, can we do this? Let me see. Cause I've heard that you can like actually take a look at hiccup in the REPL, because it's all like closure code that's being rendered and like used to like generate this HTML. So if I say like, then I evaluate this inline in the REPL, what do I see? I get a P with the test paragraph. Right, I guess, yeah, so far as closure is concerned, that's just a vector at this point with a key called P. Right. Wonder if I wrap it in parens, does that change? Object, invalidarity. Yeah, Yeah, so can I just put like a when? When not nil 0 image map. So if we have an image, render an image. If we don't render the text, this is more like a cond at this point, right? Like cond. It's like we could have like 3 cases, right? We have an image, we have text, or we've got nothing. So I think I gotta write code for that. Ooh, some. Wait, no, that's not what I want. Learning about some on the Clojure Design podcast, functional design and Clojure, which I guess I can link. Designing Clojure. Learning about the sum macro, thread sum. Yeah, this one, episode 77. It was a cool tool, but not appropriate for the problem I'm trying to solve right now. But if you're interested in learning Clojure, this is a great place to go. And once I get my blog situation figured out where I can actually get these markdown files into the blog and have it like render the correct one, you can go there for the link. So something to look forward to probably tomorrow. Alright, cond. Alright, that just goes through the forms, then gives us the thing. Alright. Not nil, 0 image map, then render image 0 of the image map. This is seeming like another function I should put in that let block, but in due time. Not nil 0 text map. Render text 0 text map. Then we can have a else empty string, I guess. Alright. I think that's enough for me to render something in the 0, quadrant of our window pane. So let's see if that totally broke things. Add image. Yep. Refresh. Add text. Not quite yet. Text map. Oh, it seems like something should have happened. Maybe I can't see it. Alright, so here's the buttons. Here's the stuff being rendered. The image source is empty. Ah, right. Yeah, I'm running nil on that, which is not the function. I'm passing an empty string. I'm not passing nil. Maybe I should be passing nil. Maybe instead of empty strings, I should have a value which actually means there's nothing here, as opposed to something that's falsy. That'll probably make this a little easier to work with. Alright. Hello, ooh, look at that shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can render text. Excellent. Cool. But we're still getting that image. Template grid. Add template display. There's the buttons. Here's the stuff. We're somehow rendering both. Image map 0 is not nil. What's our state look like right now? Image 0 is nil. So how is it that we're rendering? Not nil? Nil. False. Oh, okay. Shouldn't this stop when it reaches like a base case? When it reaches, it's not stopping. I would expect that all these would have empty paragraph tags, but we've just got a bunch of empty image tags still. Just curious. Because I've still got the still got the image in there, of course. Okay, so now we should only see the text, not the empty image. All right, add text. Hello, hi, welcome to the Thunderdome. Excellent. And now if we add an image, maybe the paragraph disappears too? Yes, excellent, cool, nice, nice, nice. Can we add more text? Hello, test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so because I entered the image first in this cont expression, that one's getting rendered preferentially since the text comes second, so it's seeing that we have an image, so it's rendering an image, which I guess is reasonable, right? That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay for now. Okay. Render text, render image, and then we've got something called render contents, which would be this function. And this will be a function that takes an index, maybe a call index, just to make sure that we know what this thing actually is. Alright, so instead of :0, we can say keyword call index, or actually we have control over what we're passing to this function, so we'll just pass it the keyword 0, keyword 1, that's okay. Alright. Ooh. And this gets a lot simpler too. Render contents at index 0. It's a lot less hiccup to read. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Here we go. So we should see no index. Oh. Yeah, we just rendered everything for everything. It's because we didn't change the variable. Render the same cat at all columns. Render cat in 0. Render text in 1. Render cat in 2. Render text in 3. Excellent. Alright, cool. Well, hey, we completed that whole cycle, didn't we? Start to finish. Excellent. Very good. Okay, nice. Oh, is there something we want to do before we move on? Render an empty string. I don't suppose I could pass nil in the place of an empty string, could I? I can. Alright. Yeah, that's okay. And we're done with that part. Nice. Okay. Done. Been a while since I got to say that on the stream. Excellent. It's a good feeling. Alright. So where do we move on from here? Right, so we got this add text thing. We do need to like auto focus when we open that. It's like if you see, I need to click this and then like click inside the text area after it's open. So that's not super great UI. We have layout blocks for which we have not done this work yet. So you see, this is like the old version so far. I feel like I want to develop out the core functionality and then like adapt it for new templates. So I think if I like just focus on like window pane for now, I'll eventually come to a point where I've like got a function that'll work for like any one of these templates. So I think not adapting that for the other templates is okay. What do I do now? Fish cat. Yeah, I think like toggling these buttons on and off would be cool. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, right? Yeah, these like edit content, edit style buttons. I can go to notebook mode just to demonstrate that. Yeah, so that was this concept here where you've got these like kind of floating buttons out here in the ether, and one says edit content, one says edit style. So edit content buttons. Look at my tiny little face down there. Let me move that over here. Maybe make that a little bigger. I've still got my old restream chat there. All the kinds of stuff you need to do. Yeah, so anyway, when you say edit content or edit style, that'll like toggle this button layer on and off. And then edit style will toggle a layer on and off where you can like change the style of the stuff like in these panes. So that's kind of the second half of what I'm trying to do here. First half is like adding content in there, and then second half is actually like adding a filter to an image or something, or changing a font style on the text itself. So I think that's going to be a good place to move on to. And I want to make that narrower. I'll move that down. Okay, cool. Wonderful. So let's move on to the next thing, shall we? Yeah, add in those buttons. All right. So I've got this idea of like this like edit thing, like a button with a pencil that says like open up editing options, and then it'll kind of fit somewhere in the UI. Maybe like be position sticky and like scroll with you as you scroll. I guess position sticky actually makes that really easy. So let's read up on that. Position sticky CSS. The element is positioned according to the normal flow of the document and then offset relative to its nearest scrolling ancestor and containing block. Nearest scrolling ancestor. Sticky accessibility. One thing I really want to focus on while I'm developing this is UI accessibility, and things that are like out of the document flow are frequently difficult for screen readers to like locate. So let's find out what we need to do to make positions sticky, accessible. Scrolling elements containing fixed or sticky content can cause performance and accessibility issues. Causing accessibility concerns for people with sensitivities and jank for everyone. Yeah, that's a good note if and when I need it. Accessibility concerned. Did not obscure other content. When the page is zoomed to increase text size. Yeah, gov.uk is a good thing. Good resource for all things accessibility and technology related. So let's see what they have to say. Sticky elements, functionality, and accessibility texting. Yeah, it's basically my use case, right? Like part of learn how to drive a car. Our approach is useful for users, reliable across browsers, is accessible. Accessibility testing. Really, the UK government has a decent website for something. Wow. Dude, you've got no idea. Gov.co.uk. Yeah, these guys are writing all kinds of articles, like all the time. Like anything accessibility related. UK government websites, accessibility, ability. Yeah, these guys are like writing the book on like design systems for government. It's like previously I was working on a design system at eTrade, which eTrade.design. So this is the design system I was working on before embarking on the startup adventure. So this was like a kind of holistic set of like UI standards and like components and tools and typography and things for E-Trade, which is like used for buying and selling stocks and securities. And so gov.uk also has its own design system, which I think is also probably like influencing and affecting the like American like government like design system standards. Yeah, so they're great on accessibility. They're great on like tech stuff. Gov.uk tech blog. Technology. Yeah, this one. These guys are writing great. Great stuff. Yeah, let me like put some links in here. Gov.uk accessibility. Now we've got E-Trade design language. Little heart. Really enjoyed working on that team. And we've got gov.uk tech blog. There we go. Cool. So that'll be up on startupinamonth.net later, or you can just search on Google. I'm sure it'll work out either way. Good to know my tax money is going towards something decent. Oh yeah, more than decent, man. I've taken a cue from these guys multiple times, and I'm currently taking a cue now. Okay, useful on mobile devices. Right, we were talking about accessibility. Keyboard users often navigate between web pages using the tab key to move through focusable elements. Found that when sticky headers overlap the page, navigating backwards through elements often left the focused element obscured by the sticky elements. This was an accessibility barrier for users. The sticky element was preventing a commonly used navigation technique from working properly. Alright. The outcome. While it proved useful for some users, it was not reliable across browsers and introduced a significant accessibility problem. Because of this, we decided we would not implement it. Does this mean that sticky functionality should never be implemented? No, but it must be considered and tested carefully, particularly if the sticky element in any way overlaps the content, which of course it would. Safer use would be a sticky element positioned over an empty part of the page, or to have the content scroll in a way that is never overlapped by the sticky elements. Yeah, so I could also imagine like doing this with grids somehow. Yeah, maybe can I like make this grid here? Yeah, so we've got like the grid set up, and then we've got these grid areas like the header, the main, demo, I think that's like a leftover, then footer, which is also a leftover. So I think if I instead turn main into a scrollable area, like a div with like overflow scroll on it, and then if I introduce a new grid area here called like editing UI, something like that, then I basically achieve what I want, which is like editing UI, which is like always visible, but editing UI, which is not going to obscure anything within this like main area. Yeah. So I think I could probably do that without worrying about like scrolling and having the thing always at the top. So I think just generally, well, yeah, I don't know. This is all getting rather baroque, so I think I'm just going to take the easy way and add a new grid area for now, which has that UI, and then I'll put the question of how to actually handle this on the back burner a little bit. Give myself time to have a good idea. Header, I'll call this like edits UI. Edit UI, main and demo. Alright, grid template rows auto. Alright, so now if we add a new div, okay, init app index main UI. What was this? Render templates. Ah, man, I'm lost. Okay, so that was the header. Right, we got a header. Okay, whatever is called temp class. I should just get rid of that, shouldn't I? Okay. Main UI. This is not really main UI anymore, is it? This is main UI. This is like main contents, and then we're gonna have something called defin edits UI. It's gonna be a section which says hello world, and we're gonna put that above the main contents edit UI. So let's head back here. Let's refresh. All right, main, the header, that section. All right. Class equals edits UI, and anything with a class of edit UI is going into create area edits UI. I think that's more or less what I want. Doesn't give me what I want. Yep. Okay, cool. So we got the header, we got the edit UI, we've got the layout blocks. All right. So now we are building out UI toggler feature. Okay. No sticky elements for now. None of that. Gonna need this cheat sheet, I'm sure. Alright. So, what's this gonna have? This is gonna have two buttons. A button and a button. Toggle. Yeah, the first one's gonna be like toggle content editing. And the second one is going to be toggle style editing. Yeah, we broke the whole thing. Oh no. Yeah. Crazy thing about Tailwind is it's got such a hardcore CSS reset that these buttons appear just as like normal text. So if we were doing that like anywhere else, any other web page on the internet, there would be that like gray button styling, which like comes along by default. But yeah, no. Tailwind wants you to start from as much of a scratch UI as you possibly can, which is really cool. It also kind of frees your mind from, boy, you know what, I'm just going to save this in a variable since I've got so many of these buttons everywhere. We're going to say def primary CTA class. That's going to be this. And too many quotes. BG yellow 300. Let's find where you are. Great. Now take a little repetitive text away from us. Alright, so edits UI is what we're looking at. Alright, the button has a class of primary CTA class. Now, after an unfortunately necessary refresh, we've got that. Alright. Toggle content editing, toggle style editing. I think I eventually want to come up with a secondary UI kind of thing, because yeah, having all these be like primary buttons is a little confusing. Like if you go back to here, the design language has a concept of a buttons and links, like a primary CTA and a secondary CTA, or primary outlines. Oh, did they get rid of the secondary? Yeah, secondary action on the page. Yeah, so they call it like primary versus outline, but it's essentially the concept of like, you know, this is the main thing you can do on the page, and then like any kind of secondary thing is like outlined with a white background. So definitely want to get back to that eventually, but I don't have it for now. That's okay. Okay, toggle content editing. So this means a click handler on click print line. Ouch. Oh, always a bit distressing when you do something simple and it doesn't work. There we go. Okay. Now it's printing. Alright. Yeah, I think we need something which is like a state variable which says whether these are like visible or not. More state, more atoms, more complexity. Alright, so we can say like def once, atom, what should this be? Atom content, edit UI, visible, enabled, visible, enabled, our atom, false. Alright, now we go to the place where we render that. That's here. Alright. So this is the content that's being rendered. These are the buttons. kind of want to make this into another render function like we did in the template file. So, boy, it's getting complicated. Let's render edits UI. I call this Atom content edits. Edits UI is going to be a function which probably doesn't take any arguments but returns this. Oh, actually, it does need to take arguments, doesn't it? Alright. So we need an item. We need a index. I think that's it. I'm in an index. Yep, that's all. Alright. So instead of rendering that, we say item and index. Ah, didn't wrap it in the lead block, did I? It's not in the scope yet, but now it is. Alright. So let's just make sure that didn't totally break everything. It did not. Great. Now we can add like a when block. So when at Atom content edit UI enabled when true. Render that thing. Alright. So if we refresh, I bet it will be false and it will cause an error. Render content edit UI is null. When true, oh right, I'm conditionally defining the function. I'm not conditionally calling the function. Alright. Man, it's kind of wild. Okay, so this goes inside the function. Easy problem to fix. I think we didn't get it yet. There we go. Alright. So now we need to toggle it on. Alright. What's that called? Toggle contents editing. That's going to be resets at Atom content UI enabled to true. Should I do like a... Yeah, not set it to true, but set it to the thing it's not. Can I do like not at Atom content edit UI enabled? Reset this to its opposite. I think I can do that. No thing defined for type boolean. The freaking dereference. That @ sign gets me every single time. Alright, cool. Nice. And I bet it works for more than one template? Yep. Excellent. Value 2 rem, parsing height attributes. Yeah. Deal with that later. Okay. So now we can toggle it on and off. And yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. So that is done so far as we're concerned. So we can toggle that on. What did I say we're doing? Building out UI, toggle feature. Okay. So now, yeah, I think we need, I think think we need buttons for changing the style on these things. So let's get rid of this one. We can add images, we can add text. Now I'm kind of envisioning like a button which says like change style. So yeah, I think that's another render function. All right, just one sec. Okay, brief intermission there, and we'll get back to the task at hand. Ah, man, this is getting so hairy. Yeah, it's gonna get hairier. That's a function that only takes 2 arguments, so I guess I could just move it out of this let block. It's probably not a great move in the first place, since, from a performance perspective, this function is probably getting redefined every time it's called. So, yeah, let's do a little surgery. Say define render edit UI. Get rid of this. Get rid of those parens. And alright, so that's out of the let block. We can delete this let block entirely. Alright, now we can write a function which is content UI enabled. Yeah, let's think about this. Layout block, map, content selector, selector. Alright, so what do these do? Oh wait, hold on. Content selector, right, okay. Yes, this is a function that says on click add image or add text. Add image, add text. I could imagine refactoring this, turning it into some kind of like reusable thing. I'm not sure I want to. I'm not sure I want it formatted like that either. Yes, there's such a fine line between like, having like too many functions which are like the same but with little differences, and having one function which is like, reusable to the nth degree, but incomprehensible because it's trying to solve for like too many things at the same time. So I think in the interest of keeping things simple, I'm just going to copy this thing. Content selector. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy this and make another copy. Alright, content selector. Style, window pane, style editor. Yeah, let's call it that. Alright, and this just has a click amplifier for now, right? On click. Alright, so we don't need double buttons. Just say Control W all the way. Nope. now. All right. All right. And delete. Don't need that either. All right. So onClick is going to be onClick that row index, that call index, and we're going to say, instead of add text, we're going to say edit style. Great. Okay. Oh, it all seems so big. It's not as big as you think it is. All right, so we got that defined. We'll go back into pages. Going to just add a little bit of white space here. Are there two of these? Nah, it's just all messed up in terms of how they're ordered. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that. All right. So window pane, style editor. Let's go. All right, I've been saving these in maps. I think that's a good way to go. Def content. Oop. Content editor map. It's gonna be this. Window pane style editor. All right. Well, I got one for now, but we'll have 3 and more soon. And kind of feeling like I'm getting to the point where I've got like constants, like a bunch of constants, and I want to put them at the top of the file for organizational purposes. So just gonna do a little bit of cleanup there. All right. Content editor map. Now we're getting to this. All right. So it's going to be the content editor map. Oh wait, no, hold on. This is not the right function. Yep, render content edit UI, and this is going to be define render style edits UI, which is also going to take an item and an index. Great. Here we go. Okay. It's cool, man. What you so nervous for? It's all good. We're making progress. We got more time. Atom style edits UI enabled. More atoms. Style edits. All right. Once atom style UI enabled, our atom false. All right. Render style. All right. When that thing is enabled, do the following stuff. This part we definitely need. May as well just copy the whole thing. All right, so instead of layout block map, it's style block map. All right, style editor map. Okay, get the right component from that map and give it a click handler. It's non-click and it's row index. So the row index is the index, and on click is going to be our favorite print line. It'll be a real function soon, just you wait. Okay. Great. So now we just render this in the same spots. The item and the index. Alright. And hopefully I never get into a situation where both of those are rendered at the same time. Cross that bridge when we come to it. And I think I have what I need, right? Toggle style editing. Button still doesn't do anything. Style editing. Alright, on click, reset that thing to the thing it's not. Atom style UI enabled. Great. Hey, now we got our buttons. And they'll be real functions soon, just you wait. Excellent. Alright. Head style. Okay, wow. I'm gonna grab a quick router break, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. And the final 30 minutes we have, 5 p.m. EST, we might just get as far as adding classes to this. What I would really like to do is to start looking at adding like Tailwind classes to these things. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out like what I want to do with this. Like, you know, they can edit the style and they're gonna have freedom to edit the style, but like, what does that mean really? And I think a really easy way to like implement that with like very low effort would be to actually make these like Tailwind CSS classes that I've been using just available to the users generally, and then like I don't have to write styles. I don't have to conceive of a style system. I just like, you know, give them the whole box of Legos and say like, you know, hey man, here's all the stuff you can do. Knock yourself out. So it's gonna be a cool way to do it. I've been thinking about that for a while, and yeah, it's exciting to yeah, get to a point where I can actually start doing that. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, we're back. Wonder how long I was actually gone. I think I said 5 minutes, but it might have been shorter. May very well have been longer. Alright, so we can't get that into a state where both are rendering in a very silly way at the same time, but we're not going to worry about that. It's going to be an edge case we sell for later. Okay, toggle style editing. This gives us a button, and what the button says is edit style. So, yeah, geez, I think this is another modal situation. I've kind of got this vision. Let's go back to the notebook. All good ideas start on a notebook. Maybe like heights. Yeah. All good ideas start on a notebook, but not all good ideas are written in colored pencil. Heights. Color. Font size. Alright, so here's my idea. Big webcam for notebook. Yeah, let's just get rid of the chat, huh? Does this matter right now, man? Not visible. Yeah, don't need that either. Yeah, let's just make this full size, right? Don't need the main screen. Don't we just have this like nice front and center? Yeah, that's okay, right? Yeah, alright. Great, so the idea. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. So you've like got the screen here, and when you click like edit content, another little modal like opens up like on the bottom of the screen here, and in that modal you've got like drop down menus, and so you've got options for setting height, options for controlling color, options for font size, and that is going to give you a way to alter things about the content in there. But now I'm realizing that there are probably there's probably aspects of this which are going to be like you pick just one of them, and there's probably going to be aspects where you can like pick one or more. So I wonder what I'm doing here. Documentation, box sizing, display, justify items, padding. Yeah, padding might be a good example. So you can have padding X. So feasibly, like you could have like a padding top class, and that'll give you padding top at 20 rem. But maybe you also want to combine that with a padding right class, like padding right 9, padding bottom 3, stuff like that. So if I was gonna do that in drop downs, I'd probably want the drop downs themselves to be like native drop downs, like native, you know, just comes with your browser drop downs. But the catch with that is you can only have a single selection with your drop downs. So if I want to do some kind of like multi-select thing where you can like add padding to an element, but you've only got the option of having like one class, that gets kind of you know, you don't want like 4 separate drop downs for like padding right, padding bottom, or at least I don't think you do. So I wonder what other UX tool I could use for that. Tailwind UI components. I wonder what I do. Credit, debit card, calculator. Oh wow, someone built a calculator in Tailwind. That's crazy. Multi-select. Yeah, so here's some examples of like multi-selects in Tailwind, but there are probably accessibility considerations to be made here as well. And there's a lot of like show code. ULs, list items, and nothing about a role or any kind of area stuff here, so not something I can just copy and use and have it be accessible out of the box. Yeah, maybe I just start with the single select drop down for now, and I can like upgrade to something else later. That's probably reasonable, right? Yeah, I think that's reasonable. 2, 3. Yeah, the other thing is there's like a lot of classes, which makes for a very long drop down. So I might want to explore like just giving them a subset of Tailwind classes, like not giving them like padding 0 through padding like 50 or 96, for instance. Some of these are probably not going to be used that often, or maybe I could do something where I just give them like every other one, so like padding 48, padding 56, padding 64, something like that maybe. Yeah, that could be a way to go about it too. Yeah, so let's start there. Just a normal HTML select, and then if I find that doesn't work, I can upgrade to something more involved after that. Yeah, I think that's a responsible move. All right. So I think I can get the modal on the screen. We'll see if we can get the modal on the screen and functional in the time I have remaining. All right, now we're building out UI customization. Oh, that's a big moment. It's like the whole point of this project is what we're doing right now. It's like not only the ability to like actually add something to the screen, but you know, edit the style in a way that gives you freedom. So this is particularly exciting. All right, so text input UI, content, it's UI, excellent. Now style, it's UI. That's gonna be the thing we got going next. More modals. All the modals. Template selector UI. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, where am I putting all my modals? Template selector UI, text input UI. Yeah. This is feeling like a new module very soon, but we'll just put this in the same file for now. Pretty crazy. I've only got 250 lines of code so far. Man, the place I was working at before I got fired was a different startup. That wasn't E-Trade. That was something else. But man, they couldn't blow their nose without like writing 6,000 lines of code to do it. Define style edit UI. Is that a mean thing to say? It might have been a mean thing to say. I feel like I gotta dig on them just a little bit. Okay, so style is text entry. Man, that name is already inaccurate to what we're trying to do here. Adam style edit UI open. So let's make this into its own atom. Alright, def once atom style edit UI open. We'll start out our atom false. Okay, so let's see if we can open this on click of a button. Toggle style editing. When we click that, it should open something. Real function soon. So on click, it's going to reset that to be not. Set that to the value that it is not currently. Atom style edit UI open. Alright. Nice. Excellent. Cool, man. Oh, this is extra cruft left over. Great. Alright. Expression.call. Still having that hot reloading stuff going on. If expression call is not a function. 1 to 80 parens. Wouldn't be the first time. Where are you coming from? Render style edit UI. 122. Let's see if it likes that. Nope. Man, I think I'm coming to my end of the day. Computer crash. Which definitely happened yesterday. Okay. There we go. Don't know why it does that, but it doesn't do it anymore. So, alright, we're good. Now we need to change that content in there, right? Yeah. This is not a, well, we do have a button which can close it. We need to keep that, but now we need I gotta select. Maybe with a single option to start. And now I need to review this to see how this works. Select with options, name and IDs, and a label. Yes, label as well. And I wonder if I put these in divs or if I put them in a UL. Yeah. I think an unordered list of selects is probably the way to go. A list of something. Unordered list of items, typically rendered as a bullet list. Content categories, flow contents. Grouping a collection of items that do not have a numerical ordering and their order in the list is meaningless. Typically unordered list items are displayed with the bullets. Bullet style is not defined. List elements for many select menus, accessibility. for a multi-select. UL list of buttons. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, role as a toolbar. Role list box. Role toolbar. Design pattern for a toolbar. Toolbar is a container for grouping a set of controls such as buttons, menu buttons, or checkboxes. Toolbar role can be used to communicate the presence and purpose of the grouping to screen reader users. Grouping controls toolbars can also be an effective way of reducing the number of tab stops. Yep. Right, toolbar. Yep. Oh, it's got select menus as well. Oh, damn. It was a cool little project. Whoever made that. Yeah, it's neat. Div class group. Role as a radio group. Group characteristics. Okay, it doesn't necessarily need to be a list. Just needs a role toolbar and an ARIA label. ARIA controls. ARIA controls, there we go. So we don't need an ARIA label if we've got a real label, so I think we can nix that. Although ARIA controls, that'll be interesting. ARIA controls, as the equivalent for us is going to be the item inside here that we've actually like started to edit. So I'm going to need some kind of reference for that. So role toolbar and ARIA controls, that's what we need. ARIA checked. Tab index. We just need it on the outermost thing with role toolbar on it. Alright, so that's okay. ARIA controls is a bit of a trick. Style edit UI. I guess I know the selected row and call. So if I know the selected row and call, I can probably either derive which ID that selected row and call is assigned to, or even better, when I select a row and a call, I just like save that ID somewhere in state in another atom. I think it's an easier way to do it. I don't think I'm getting that far today before we end our session, so yeah, I think I'm gonna make some notes for myself. Alright. And notes, we need, oh, thank you Siri, not gonna need that at all. Oh, shut off my fan when I had Siri open, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess I can't run the fan if it's trying to listen for commands. ARIA role toolbar and ARIA controls reference. ARIA controls means each item in a template needs a unique ID. When you click to edit style, we set that unique ID in state, assign that to ARIA value of the style edits toolbar. Cool. Okay, that'll set me on the path for tomorrow when we're actually implementing that. For now, I think we're just getting the stuff on the screen and we're giving it a list of classes to start, and that'll be that. Okay. So select with an option, value test, hello world. Alright, see if we got that on the screen. Add style, nope. Maybe after a refresh. Yes, excellent. Wow. We get the checkbox, we get the native checkbox style, but that's it. No, maybe. Yeah, let's change gears on you for the 3000th time. And look for a nice select style. Multi-select, basic select. Show code. Just a bunch of divs. Nope. Need an actual select element. Search results, input tags. Drag and drop. Oh, hello. Drop down. Use your drop down menu. Drop down shopping carts. Multi-level drop down menu. Pure CSS drop down menu. Once you know, you can do it in pure HTML too. Show the code. Label, that's a good sign. UL with list items, nope. SVGs, spans, and buttons, and ULs with list items, also no. Nope, don't want to fork it. Oh, wow. It's a nav, that's good. Divs with anchor tags, no. Tailwind CSS native select. Select menus. Code. ULs with list items. Ah man, I want the real thing. Simple native. Ooh. Get the HTML. Pay us for the HTML. No. And it's an image too, so we can't just copy the class names. Native HTML select. HTML form select. CSS dropdown, maybe. User select, wonder what that is. Yeah, who's select with options? Ooh, and they're styled? How'd you do that? I didn't think you can do that. I think you can do that on all browsers. Yeah, but it looks kind of gross, doesn't it? Drop down on hover means it's not native. User select. Why would you prevent that? It's so hostile. Tailwind UI, custom select menu. Spans, buttons, and divs, nope. Tailwind, HTML, select. Select components. Man, surprisingly sparse. Yep, looks like what I want. Probably just class of form select. Form select width full. Does form select do anything? I don't think it does. But a select background position, background repeats. Alright, so that's just some kind of like background image thing. I think all I need to do is wrap my select in those classes on that div. Put width full on the select itself. So let's see. Class rounded. The select class of width full. That's got an option. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Look better with a better font. I think there's still something I'm missing. Where'd that thing go? Yeah, they've got like an arrow, and then they've got a height on the select, and I don't have those. Yeah, where's that arrow? Where's that height? Okay, we got all that. Form select. Form. Shadow inner. Does that come from Tailwind? Shadow inner. Shadow inner does indeed come from Tailwind. Rounded, that comes from Tailwind. Padding 4. Border. Utility first. Friendly with utility first frameworks. Okay, so there's like something I'm missing here. Yeah, I want to find that class though, the class definition for form select. Maybe I need to go to the network tab. CSS, probably a whole bunch of minified stuff. Next error page. Oh, here we go. What? Fixed classes shared by all the variants. Transition duration. Settings. Okay. So I assume this goes on our friend selects. Fixed classes and other classes. black, placeholder gray. Alright, disable cursor not allowed. Here we go. Let's check that out. Let's style. Very good. We got it. Great. Don't have that arrow yet. The arrow. Where's the arrow come from? Oh, those were just that. Oh, I didn't copy all the classes. Oh no. And that all goes on the select, not on the box around it? Yeah, I'm very confused. I'll just comment that out for now. We can answer that mystery later. Style reference. Still can't get arrow. Alright. We'll tackle that later. We don't need this div. Yeah, div will be useful. And that can give me a way to wrap the select with its label. So we'll say label for, let's see, ID equals tests select for test select. All right. What should we give them the power to change first? Yeah, maybe text size. Yeah, font style, font size. There we go. Yeah, so this is a good limited selection of classes to start with. So yeah, let's try that. All right. So we want everything before that. Cool. Alright, we got our classes, and now... Oh, just to find this inline, why the hell not? Def... 5 o'clock. I can get to the point where I can, like, render these in the select with the options. Alright, def text size is going to be this vector of strings. There we go. Great. Got our vector strings. And now we can say, oh, this is something I wanted to practice actually. So I've been doing this into the sequence map v do list item, but I think I want to start using like the for loop that reagent documents. I really wanted to do that like map style thing because that's what I'm more familiar with. Documentation. What I'm more familiar with map. More familiar with from React by way of JavaScript, but yeah, this is just way easier than mapping. cannot return. I guess I need that caret, don't I? What does that mean? Cannot return from a for loop in JavaScript, but I assume you can in Clojure. So that is a little bit strange to me, given my JavaScript understanding of what a for loop is and does, but that is just fine. Okay, so for class of text sizes, let's say key is going to be the class, yeah, sure, li. Instead of an li, it's going to be an option with a value of class and inner text of class. Alright, if we save this, go back, reload, we should have a select menu filled with our text class sizes. Excellent. Alright, cool. Well, that's a great place to stop for today. So anyway, yeah, let's figure out what we did. Complete text entry process for UI. Complete enable toggling on off of content UI edit buttons. This is done. Done with a thumbs up. Alright, enable toggling on off of style edit buttons. Yeah, then we got to the point where we can render a simple select element for style editing. Got that done. Now control style of on page via UI next time. Alright, great. So we're done for the afternoon. Yeah, thanks for joining me if you are still sticking around. Thanks for checking out the video if you're watching this after the fact on Twitch or YouTube. Yeah, once I get Jekyll, that's my blogging platform. Once I get Jekyll figured out, you'll be able to go on to startupimonths.com to check out the list of like links and like checklist and all that stuff. So yep, I'll have that up online soon, but until then, have a nice evening or afternoon depending on where you are, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So thanks everybody, and I'll catch you later.